Hello everyone and welcome back on my YouTube channel. I am Thomas Etchel and today I want to show you how to create a Google Ads account and your first Google Ads campaign. This is gonna be a Google Ads tutorial, very updated one for 2025 and obviously amazing for beginners, but if you're advanced Google Ads specialist, this can be also quite okay if you want to go back to the fundamentals and see how I set up Google Ads campaign and what is my reasoning behind certain features. So let's go through the whole step and let's start by creating a Google Ads account. So first of all, to create a new Google Ads account, you need to go to business.google.com and here you have the official Google Ads website where you can start signing in or register for a new Google Ads account. Very important to say here that Google has a lot of different discount codes for new clients. So if you see here, for example, on the screen, you see offer A with 400, in this case, British pounds. You can also obviously create here in the link, for example, a US or a IT or whatever. Then you can say claim now. Once you create an account, you will already have this credit in your account, but you need to spend, obviously, the different requirements. For example, here you get 400 pounds with Google Ads in the first 60 days if you spend 400 pounds. Or the offer B, you get 800 pounds in ads credit if you spend 1,200 pounds in the first 60 days. All right, so let's click, for example, an offer and say claim now. Then this new window will open and here you have to say new Google Ads account. These are the first step in order to create a Google Ads account. Here you need to put your business name. I'm gonna put my name, your website, where you want to send your traffic, your business phone if you want, or your app if you're creating a mobile app campaign. Then you say next. Google asks you now directly if you have a YouTube channel or a merchant center, for example, for e-com clients, you can create here a link, but we don't need that. We also don't want to link any different things, so we can say skip. Now, Google Ads obviously needs different conversion trackings. That's part for another video, but here, for example, you can say my goal for campaigns is to create brand awareness. If you want, for example, YouTube campaigns, you can also have different app promotion leads. Google Ads is not very universal. You can really have different specific goals in mind and create here different categories. Let's say I'm gonna go here for page views. Now Google asked me if I want a specific campaign type. I'm gonna go through them later, but right now I'm gonna say skip because I just want to create a new account and then later the campaign. So I say leave campaign creation. Obviously, every Google Ads account needs a billing address and account settings, and you need to put your different billing country and time zone. Very important, time zone, billing country cannot be changed later, so this one has to be correct. And obviously your currency. As you saw before, we have 400 euro credit if we spend 400 with Google Ads. So here the payment profile normally comes from your Google account itself, but you can also create a new one here and put all your data inside. And once we have the payment profile inside, we can create submit. Now we entered in our Google Ads account. Here inside on campaigns, you can create a new one. If you click here on create campaign, now you're gonna have the option, what is your campaign objective? So this is really important because if you create Google Ads campaigns, you really need to know what do I want to achieve. I just don't want to burn money, so I really want to achieve either sales, I want leads, contact forms, I want just traffic, I want app promotions, I want brand awareness, or normally people use sales or leads because if you have a conversion tracking in place, you can really say how many sales or leads my Google Ads campaign is generating. So first of all, I'm gonna go for leads this time. And if I go for leads, then here are different conversion goals. And here comes the important point. Now you need to know which campaign type you want to use. Performance Max, that is a campaign type that is one of the newest from Google. Well, already 3 years or 4 years old, but still this is one of the campaign types that Google is pushing together with Demand Gen. Performance Max is a campaign type that runs on all different Google channels. For example, search campaign, this is the most traditional campaign type, that is to show ads on Google search when somebody is searching on Google for a specific keyword, and then you can show them text ads. Demand gen campaign, this one here, is kind of like social campaign type from Google, and it's here to drive new demand with conversion focus, usually to show ads on YouTube, like in-feed, YouTube Shorts, Discover, and email ads together, also with a bit of display recently. Then the fourth is the one that probably most of you know because you browse on YouTube. Those are video YouTube ads that usually run on brand awareness, but as you can see, it's also possible to run video ads. Here we have display. Those are the typical display banners on websites and partner website of Google. It's basically an awareness campaign. And then we have Google shopping campaigns. Those are the typical ones. If you search for a product and you see a nice carousel of different shopping ads popping up with price and images, those are the ones you promote from the Google Merchant Center here inside Google Ads. Now I'm gonna select search. Here you first can put again my website. And say continue. Here I have to put my campaign name. Now, every Google Ads campaign has a different algorithm bidding behind. So first of all, if you have conversion tracking in place, then you can use conversion or conversion value as a bidding strategy. If you don't have it in place, I always recommend to have conversion tracking in place. If not, then you can also go for clicks or impression share. But usually conversion is recommended, also by Google. So yeah, I'm gonna click now conversions. You can also set a target cost per acquisition, how much you are ready to pay for each conversion. For example, I put here 50 euro. Here you can also optimize for customers. Now for now, we're gonna keep it off. In Google Search, there are different networks. One is the Google Search Partner Network, where your ads can show, so outside of Google. And then you have the Google Display Network that are like sites like Google or others where your search campaign can show display ads. So that's something I never tick on. Google Search Partners, in case you can, but it's also better to not have it on. Then where do you want to show your ads? Very important, location targeting. And also here in the location options, you should go on presence. Because what happens if you have present or interest, if I target Spain, for example, and my product is about Google Ads demand gen playbook, and somebody, for example, in Japan searches for demand gen playbook Spain, then it can show the ad. Now, also we need language targeting. Here you can put, for example, if you go with Spain, then in this case would make sense that you go for Spanish language. Audience segments for search campaign, you don't just need them for display campaigns. If not, the campaign will not really spend. Okay, I recommend to put this off in the beginning, especially because you really want to target just the keywords that you have in mind and you think they work. Then you can say an ad schedule. If you're a B2B business, it's very important to go Monday, Friday business hours, for example, in order to reduce wasted ad spend and spam traffic. So for example, this one normally works. You can also at night, you can go a bit later. And normally if you have a start and an end date, you can put here an end date. Usually it's better to have campaigns running always on because the algorithm can learn better. And the more conversion signals the algorithm gets, the better your campaign will perform. And here, if you have, for example, specific brand that you want to exclude, your brand normally, in order to just run on non-branded terms, non-branded traffic, then you can put here your brand. If it's not listed yet, you can create a new one here. You can say, for example, my brand. I don't know if it's listed, I don't think so. No, I can request a new brand and just say, okay, I want to exclude all terms that are coming from Thomas Etchel. And yeah, because let's say product. And then here you put your URL and then you submit it to Google, and it can take quite a long time to get approved. So yeah, that's not really needed because you can always put a negative keyword later. Now we have the first campaign settings done. It can help you create Ads for you, I'm gonna skip this for now because usually it's not really that good. For example, let's say I have this Google Ads store and I want to promote my Google Ads, the demand gen playbook. So I'm gonna put this keyword. Obviously you can put way more keywords that make sense. I'm just gonna show you just with one. Here you have to put your final URL. Now you can put a display path that is shown next to your ad, something that makes sense together with your keyword. For example, demand gen playbook, because if you have here a very relevant path, it also increases your quality score and that makes your cost per click lower. Now you need 3 headlines to show. I'm really lucky because my whole product has 30 characters. I can also pin it here in position 1 if I want, in order to always show there. And then it's very important that you not put an exclamation mark because that's going to be a disapproved. Something like that. You can always see how your ad will look like in the preview here, also on different desktop views, whatever. And now we need at least two descriptions. Right, now I put 2 different descriptions. You can, obviously they would be more elaborated if I would put this now live. You can also add image extensions if you want to show next to your ads. This is also from the last 2 years, quite new. Business name and business logo, you will get access once you submit your identity. Advertiser identity check, I'm going to show you what it is. And you can put new site links. Site links are little text that will go under your text ads. For example, as you would see here, Google. And then you can put here a new final URL and people can see what else you have in store, what else your service can offer. And it's a really good thing to increase your CTR. Callouts are also extensions where you can put callouts that you want to show. For example, top 25 PPC expert or 6+ years experience, something like that can help to make people trust you more. And then here there are also other extensions that you can use: price extension, call extensions, putting your phone number, structured snippets, lead forms. But yeah, the most important ones are side linking callouts. And once you are done with your first ad, you can say done here and then say next. Here you can put a budget for a campaign. So obviously the more budget you give your campaign, the faster it will learn and the faster it will surpass the learning phase and the better it will perform. Because as I said always, Google Ads is a machine learning, and the more data you feed in, the better it will get. Now you say next. Now Google will say, okay, your campaign is ready, there are no errors. You can also have another view here, what you put, and now you can say publish campaign. And now you will see your search campaign here. You will see that the status of the campaign is in learning phase. That normally needs 4 or 5 days in order to be status eligible or soon limited by budget, because Google always puts limited by budget. And once the campaign runs, you have here different metrics that you can play around and see how much spent it accrued, it generated, how much impression, interaction, clicks, and so on. And you can play around here with different columns. There are like a lot of different columns you can use. For example, here you're gonna see all the data you need in order to know exactly how your campaign is working. So now what we need are negative keywords. I'm gonna click here on the campaign and then I go here under audiences, keywords. First of all, I also want to put my keyword not in broad match, but rather phrase match. And hopefully, yeah, look what happens. It's not eligible. So in this case, I would need to go and find new keywords that Google allows me to target. Maybe exact match. Yeah, exact match is allowed. So I'm gonna target now also those keywords, but you always need to know keywords are not really keywords anymore, they are more intent. And the more broad you go, the more intent and signals they become. So it's not really that you target those, but more or less you tell Google, I want to target those keywords. Now I want to go to the negative keywords because I want to put a lot of negative keywords that I don't want to target. So that's really important. For example, a typical one, here you can go really creative and also use my custom PPC. ChatGPT, if you want to have a lot of new keywords, so for example, free, like typical phrases you never want to have, you can put them here. The more negative keywords you have, normally the better your campaign will perform, but always pay attention to just exclude what you really don't want to target. Also, another thing is you can exclude locations to be very safe in your campaign in order to not really make the algorithm get lost on different countries you don't want to target. I've seen many times that you put Spain, but then the spend goes to other countries you never want. So here we can put negative locations. In another video, I'm gonna link it also in the description. I show you how to exclude the whole world. So you're gonna be safe that the ad spend is really going only there where you want to do. But you can also do it manually if you want, but you need a lot of time. So here, for example, Portugal, in this case, I don't want, so yeah, you can exclude. Now I'm gonna pause this campaign, if not, the spend will accrue right now. Not right now, but in the next minutes, it could go on. What else we need to do is, obviously, we need to see if we need to invite someone to our account. You can go to user and then here click and invite new people to your account and give them different access levels, email only, billing, read, or standard or admin access. You can also say when the access should expire. That's also quite new from Google. In the account settings, you need to obviously make sure that your auto tagging is on. That usually is by default on in order to really be a GA4 or any other third-party platform in order to track that the traffic is coming from your ad. So in this case, it's fine. Then, as I said before, you have to do advertiser identity verification for every Google Ads account. It's mandatory. After around 30 days, Google will send you a notification, and then you have around 60 days time in order to verify that you are a valid business. If you have an account set up, you can speed this process up and do it proactively. So you go to billing and then advertiser verification. And then here you have to go on start task. You have to do some different questions about your organization. It's really important that you have this right. For example, it's asking you if the one doing the verification is an agency or not. In this case, I would not be an agency. And then here, yes, I pay my Google Ads directly. And then once you create save and continue, the second task where you have to provide different business information. So here you have to verify and upload different documents. And then here you have to do the verification. Google is asking you your street number, your organization address, and some documents that you have to provide. It's not always mandatory to upload documents, for example, like your incorporation certificate, but sometimes Google asks you for if they want to do a more specific check. And once you upload the document, it takes normally 1-2 business days, and then you will get a notification at your email, the one that is logged into your Google Ads account. And then Google says if the verification has been completed correctly or not. And if not, they will tell you more or less what was the problem. And then you can go here again in the advertiser verification and check and submit again your documents. So that's very important. Now, one very interesting tool that I also want to share with you is the keyword planner. If you don't know exactly what kind of keywords you can use and if these keywords have search volume, because only keywords with a search volume more than 10 searches per month are allowed to be shown on Google Ads. For example, I would go here, and you can also start with a website if you want. You can put your URL and then Google will find you new keywords. But for example, I put demand gen playbook just as curiosity, what kind of results Google is giving me. In this case, not many, but here, for example, Google Ads Playbook would be a more interesting one. And then you can also put the location you want to target, let's say in the whole world, how many people are searching that. Yeah, not that many, let's say in English that most people speak. Yeah, not so many. You can get like different ideas of keywords that you could target. If you have a more broader keyword, then you will see here many more keyword suggestions. These are not very relevant for me, but it's also a nice way to find negative keywords. So for example, local ads would be a negative for me because my playbook is not about local ads. This is a really good tool to find new keywords if you don't have an idea. Also, you can paste or upload a file with multiple keywords in a CSS file. You can see how much search volume the keyword have and how much clicks Google might forecast for you with a specific budget. Another very important part is brand safety. Let's go to tools and then content suitability. And here you can put the inventory type on limited. It's very important that you use limited because you don't want Google to show your ads on if you have PMax, display, YouTube, or any other ads that are not search ads, in order to make your brand safe and not show your ads on sketchy websites that might harm your brand safety. Here you can put safe. Also here, very important to exclude all sensitive content. We don't want display or video partner inventory with those sensitive contents. Also, you can exclude different types and labels for YouTube display and Google Video Partner inventory. For example, if you don't want to show ads on live streaming, on embedded YouTube videos, below the fold, on park domains, content that is not yet labeled by Google admins. Also here, you can exclude different content themes for YouTube display, Google, for YouTube display network, and Google Video Partner inventory. All those are quite sensitive themes, so I also want to exclude them usually. And then here you can put negative content keywords from YouTube display and Google Video Partner also. Also, what normally Google Ads specialists do is they exclude app content because normally people don't want to show different image ads on apps. Why? Because sometimes they're not, but obviously you can do that if you want or not. That's not 100% mandatory. And as I promised you before, I'm gonna also explain the different Google Ads campaign types that are available right now in June 2025. We're gonna start with the PMax campaign. This is an AI-based Google Ads campaign that is designed to access all Google Ads channels. One campaign that can access all different channels, and it's very automated. You have less optimization tactics to go for, but right now you can use new negative keywords. You can have a better channel reporting in order to see which of those channels accrue more, so get more conversions. Then, as you saw in the example, the search campaign, the text ads, traditional one that is really good to generate online sales, but also sign up and leads, but also traffic. The display campaigns, those are image ads on websites. They're good for brand awareness, but lately have been a bit under criticism because they target sometimes also websites that have click farms on it, and so it's not really working so well. Video campaigns, those are the video ads for YouTube, as we also saw before, good for consideration, awareness, but also sometimes to drive more conversions and expand your reach. We have app campaigns where you can promote your app via app on search, on display, play, and also YouTube under one normal campaign, and it's quite easy to set up also like a search campaign. Smart campaigns, those are the ones I don't even want to mention because they're not good. Please don't use them. Shopping campaigns or PMax campaigns with Merchant Center feed. Those are shopping campaigns. Those are search results in the Google Shopping tab. You have to use a Google Merchant Center and have a shopping feed in order to showcase your products. And it's a really good campaign type if you have an e-com business and you want to generate sales, because this type really works well. And now it has been taken over a bit by the Performance Max campaign. And then obviously the newest campaign type, the demand gen campaign. that is here to make Meta a bit of competition, I would say, because it's like the social campaign type equivalent where you can showcase videos and image ads on the most immersive surfaces of Google, let's say Discover, email, YouTube Shorts, YouTube InFeed, and demand gen campaigns are acting more on the mid funnel, whereas performance max and search campaigns act more on the lower funnel. Demand gen campaigns are the only campaign type that allow lookalike audiences, for example. You can have clicks, conversion, or conversion value bidding, whereas on PMax, for example, you only have conversion value. And they are also the only 9 to 16 image ad that is available on Google Ads. You can use it as image ads in the Google YouTube Shorts placement. I hope you liked this video about how to set up a Google Ads account and your first campaign with some already more advanced features like negative keywords and content suitability. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. I drop usually once a week a new video on Thursday, and please put a thumbs up and a comment how you like it. And if you have any more questions, I'm here to help. Have a nice day. Ciao, ciao.